for me rhythm. Me a day okay, me a day okay. Lion Street they go back of singles. We gon' talk up for Abia and television. Today happen for your side. What thing they happen for your side? What thing they happen for your side? What thing they happen for your side? Chopping jump for money, wahala for life. I'll be in the air and we gon' talk and price. Wedding bell, they ring love, they everywhere. Culture way sweet, we gon' just down here. Like a talk quick, we don't dream. Fuck with talk up, bleeding song. Like a talk quick, we don't dream. Waiting there for your side. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. I'll be in the air and we go talk and right. Wedding bell, they ring love, they everywhere. Culture way sweet, we go just down here. And it's for village party for town. Brand price they high, but they no calm down. Dancing, enjoy the go where they full crowd. Like this kind cheese, we go spread around. I know area for the rhythm. I am okay, we are there okay. Lion Street, they go back up sing. We go talk up for happy and television. This week, fight us, we go show love at your area. Oh, area, oh. Thing they happen for your side. Thing they happen for your side. Thing they happen for your side. For your side. I your area, there. But they okay, okay. All your street they go back up singles. With the money this week, you fight us. All your area, oh. All your area, oh. With the money this week. With the money this week. All your area, there. But they okay, okay. With the money this week, you fight us. All your area, oh. All your area, oh. With the money this week. With the money this week. Our area, Afrobeat rhythm. Decorator, key drum house, a groovy bassline. Up this kind kiss we go spread around. Now this kind kiss we go spread around. With the money this week, are your area, oh. Area, they okay. We go talk up for Abia. Are your area, oh. I sounds cherry brown. With the money this week, we go money this week. With the money this week, with the money this week. Are your area for the freedom? We are there, okay. Lion Street, they go back on singles. We go talk up for Abia.
Me tempo, groovy Afrobeat rhythm. Good like the leash we get. Talking drum, horns and a groovy bassline. Oh, your area, oh. Here they okay, higher they okay. Higher street they go. We go talk up for you. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Are they okay? We go talk up for television. They look out for ABN television. When they happen for the side for morning, wahala go. Things love they everywhere. Culture way sweet, we go just down here. We happen for your side. What in there side? Oh, what in there happen for your side? What in there happen for your side? What in there happen for your side? Moving wahala for night. I'll be in the air and we go talk I'm right. Yeah, culture way sweet, we go this down here. Let me happen for your side. Waiting there happen for your side. Oh, waiting there happen side. Waiting there happen for your side. Waiting there happen for your side. Movie a holla for night. I'll be in the air and we go talk I'm right. Wedding bell they ring love they everywhere. Culture way sweet, we go just down here. Let me happen for your side. Oh, waiting there happen for your side. Waiting there happen for your side. Waiting there happen for your side. Oh, yeah, okay. You talk out for ABN television. You talk out for ABN television. You talk out for ABN television. Waiting there happen for your side. For night, I'll be in the air. side. Wedding bell, they ring, love the every sweet. We go just down here, leave the hamper for your side. Oh, what's in the hamper for your side? Oh, what's in the hamper?
All right, sorry for the time I've wasted due to some technical problem. All right, time check is 30 minutes past the hour of 4. Still on ABN TV and radio. My name is Ifani Okali. Okay, today we are bringing you a program that you are waiting for. Our area.
They go back up singers. We go talk out for a baby. Letting the apple for your side. Heavy a bit, okay. Now your street they go. We go talk out.
All right, once again, good afternoon, man. Beautiful people of Abia State and beyond. Welcome to our area. Your number one community on ABN TV and radio.
Culture way sweet, we go just down here.
Where we discuss everything about our road, our environment, our culture, and yes, to shaping conversation in our state.
Calm down, dancing, enjoyment.
All right, today we are talking about a topic that here
Now your street they go back up singers.
is popular UK-based
For your
event planner, Miss Oban Nora.
we go talk down for a baby. Letting the apple for your side.
All right, let me quote what she said on the trending video.
I be in the year
To marry an Abia North man,
everywhere. Culture way sweet.
she said, I am a fine girl and I am not looking for a husband. If I want to marry today, I'll. All right, this statement has reactions from support to condemnation and unfortunately triggered a wave of hate speech not and Ngwa youth online. All right, but here on how your area today, we are not here to to write, or we are here to find a solution to peace and love, and to remind everyone that Abia is one family.
Waiting happen for your side. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. All be here and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring, love they everywhere. Culture way sweet, we go just down here.
All right, joining us now, I think they are all here live with us.
Waiting happen, traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. All be in the here and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring.
All right, we have Ekino live from United Kingdom. Sorry, United States. Now this United Kingdom, I enter my mouth too much. Ekino, are you there? Hello,
I'm
Ekino,
here.
are you
I'm
there?
right here. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. All right, you are welcome, Ekino.
Thank
All
you
right, we're
very
still
much,
waiting for
Pazi.
Chidinma Obane joining us from Omahia. Chidinma is a respected doctor and elder brother of Oban Nora. But I think he will join us anytime from now. All right, we also have Mrs. Oloma Lobbe, popularly known as Adabia or Mama Tourism. She's from Omahia, but married to an Ngwa man, showing that love can truly bridge. All right, we also let me explain more. Weekend Mania is live from United States of America, with roots in both Abia North and
man who embodies unity.
Absolutely.
Much of our time this afternoon, evening.
Waiting they happen for your side.
Time check is that 5 minutes past the
Waiting they
on your
happen.
dialing station ABN TV and radio. All right, let's begin with your general thought. This statement by Nora. I think we've lost someone. Let's start with Kino first. Let's see the general thought, the statement by Nora. Uh, is it just one woman expressing her personal choice, or is it a sign of deeper misunderstanding between Abia North and Ngwa community? Please, Ekino, can we hear from
Yeah,
you?
thank you, Fagzi. It's not a misunderstanding, right? This is a narrative that's been there for the longest. Do you understand what I'm saying? Growing up, I used to hear people from Old Bend, they refer to Old Bend particularly, not even, or other people in either state refer to Ndengwa as Ndoho, right? And I've
Mm.
also heard Ngwa people refer to Ndohafe or Old Bend as Ndobisi, right? And this, traces back to historical times, right? Historically, Ngwa and Abia North communities have shared trade, intermarriage, and political alliances. Long before colonial borders created modern Abia states. In fact, Ohaofia warriors historically defended trade routes that connected Ngwa farmlands to the wider region, fostering mutual dependence and respect. Conflicts may have occurred, during that period, as with any neighboring communities, but those were situational, ones, not cultural declarations of hate, So, but that has endured the times, okay? And to hear someone in Nora's capacity, she's educated, she's traveled, wide and far, to make such hasty generalization is actually saddening, right? It's just a textbook case of hasty generalization, a logical fallacy, where one person's limited observation is projected onto an entire group. All right. And one thing I know, philosophy reminds us of is that truth must be drawn from reason and evidence, not from prejudice. So when someone says Ongwa people don't like Abia, not people, or vice versa, they collapse the rich diversity of millions of individuals into a single negative stereotype, which
Mm.
is both intellectually lazy and ethically harmful. So, because it denies the individuality and moral urgency of every Ngwa person who does not share the sentiments. And when I talk about every Ngwa person, my mom is one of such persons, right?
Mm.
She had a lot of suitors, based on the stories she told me back in the days. She had a lot of suitors, but she settled for my dad, a young, eligible, handsome man from Elu Ahafia, right? Who could have also gone elsewhere. Because my dad also shared a story with me that, back in the days, it was customary, or I would say it was given that every Oaxaca man will marry from Oaxaca too, right? Even your relatives encouraged you to marry within, not that you can go outside to marry. But my dad felt like, oh, he tried. Do you understand what I'm saying? But he didn't see anybody that suited his, till he met my mom, a young, you know, um, students in teacher training at that time. They got together, love blossomed, and voila, in years to come, 5 kids, right? And they've
Mm.
been through it all. I saw love. I saw them, you know, you know, try so hard to make it work, and it did work, right? Growing up back in the days, you will find me most times in Ngwaland, spending my
Mm.
holidays, okay? And
Yeah.
a lot of people who really didn't know where I was from or where I came from then, would always refer to me as an Ngwa boy. And I took that with all smiles because I'm a representation of the Ngwa people, right? They have a rich culture, they have a rich tradition. There are a lot of things I learned from, associating with Ngwa people that I couldn't have learned, even as I'm a half a man in a half year, right? And there are things that, insights that I got from being a half a man that Ngwa couldn't have provided me. So I am a typical example of the unity, of our diversity. So for Nora to come out and make such a blanket statement for me was very responsible. And I couldn't have said anything, after the first time she made that comment. It was her doubling down and saying, you guys, basically gaslighting people from Abia North who had two things to say about what she said, who responded. She was basically trying to gaslight us and saying, it's my personal feelings. Listen to me, yeah, it's your personal feelings. Nobody has anything wrong about, like, I don't really care about your personal feelings, right? I care about the damage your personal feelings and the words that came out of you could, cost the state. We are a state, where there is inherent division, political divisions, right? And for anybody who's out there who's educated, the most you can do is to try to mend the division, not, make it wider. And that's my, my take on that.
Okay. Yes, we'll still go deep. We'll still go deep to some of the questions we have for you people today. This is just the opening question. Mrs. Atiloma Loveday, please, we would like you to give us your opening remark because what we are talking about is Nora that made a statement. It was a trending video online where she said um uh, she will not marry Abia North person. So now we are trying to see if is this just one woman expressing her personal choice, or is it a sign of a deeper misunderstanding between Abia North and Ngwa community? So Yakachi, please, we are waiting for you. Can you talk to us, Mrs. Onyekachi Atuloma? Please talk to us. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Mrs. Onyekachi Atuloma? Please, can you hear us?
Thank you very much. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Continue. We can
Yeah.
hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Based on what she said, I
Can you
believe
can
it's
you
her
introduce yourself?
personal
Introduce
opinion. The
yourself by
citizen
yourself.
of Nigeria, she has rights of. She has rights of
Continue.
Mrs.
Continue.
Oeka from Umuahia,
Okay. Continue. Yes.
married
All right.
to Ngwa, Mbosi to be precise. Uh,
All right.
that what she said.
All right. Kino, sorry. Since we've lost her, her network is a little bit bad. Okay. You have a unique experience of being both Abia North and Ngwa. How have you balanced those identities, and what lesson can we all learn from the experience you've gotten?
Right, like it's pretty much simple, right? Like but this is my lead experience, right? Growing up, I spent most of my holidays in Ngwa, right? Basically because of my grandmother, we were quite close, before she passed. So I spent most of my holidays there, especially those 2 weeks, 1 week, holidays or whatever. Instead of you know um staying back in Omaha, where my parents are based, actually where I was born, I will get in the car, and then go straight to Ngwaland and spend my time there. I enjoyed the peace. I enjoyed the serenity. I enjoyed going to farm, going to the stream, doing several things with the youths there. So it's been a lovely experience. There's no year, even since I traveled, there's no year that I come back that I don't go to Ungoland, right? I still relate with my cousins. Do you understand what I'm saying? My aunts,
Yeah.
my cousins. I was able to build friendships, throughout these years, and we've maintained those friendships as well. So based on my lived experience, it's been an exciting one, right? Having the I would say the privilege of being an unhappy man, whose mother is Ngwa, pretty much being an unhappy man and an Ngwa man at the same time, right? So it's the most exciting thing that could happen to anybody, right? When your father is from one clan and your mom is from a different clan, it gives you, the perspective to different worldviews and how they see things. And for you as a person, you begin to understand the beauty of our differences, right? Our differences in the way we, conduct our traditional rites and all that, right? Or how many people
Mm.
are so invested in their culture, right? And at some point, I told, when they try to demonize the Ebe festival in Ungaland, I mean, like my kindred there, they were trying, most of them who claim to be Christians, right, try to demonize their traditions. I told them, listen to me, where I'm from as an half man, we value our tradition. And over the years, we've maintained a strong connection to our traditions. If anything, what we've done is to evolve with the traditions as time passes, right? So, and that's basically my experience. And I did tell them, that the best thing that can happen to any person, African, Igbo, is to identify with your culture and see that, it is promoted at any given time. So for me, it's been a beautiful experience.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So for me, like I was saying, it's been a beautiful
Oh,
experience, right? Being able to marry the differences in cultures and traditions from both sides, relating all of that, and then um, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Trust me, there is beauty in diversity. And as Afghans,
yeah.
we are tied culturally and otherwise. The best we can do is to love one another and encourage that mutuality. Anything that will bring further divide, whether it's political or from a misconception, should be disabused.
Okay, another thing I want to ask you do you think the thing that fuels this statement like this, that sometimes turn one group against the other? Do you understand what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
do.
Okay. In such statement she made, do you think like some people were saying the Abia North, I won't use that word because it's very we can't use it on social media. That Abia North doesn't like
It's
the
it's it's
the
it's a
Ngwas.
misgiving.
So, and if most of these things are some. Is there any other thing like this? Because in such statement, I think from either from the side of the family, they had issue with one or two person from the Abian North. All right, let's just keep that one because what we're here just for us to make peace and also believe that we are one. Okay, what message would you give young people who may have never been to the other
All
region
right.
but
So so
already carry negative
so
stereotypes?
listen to me. That's the personal thing to know, right? It's not general perception. Trust me, because I see Ngwa people visit or happen during Christmas periods and during festivals, and they enjoy it. They stay for days having fun. None of them have ever been um, hurt, all right, or harassed. We are very
Mm,
hospitable people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Same with Unga people. Unga people are very
you're
hospitable,
right.
right? Now, let me take you back into history. There's what they call Aro Ajatakiri. There's Aro Ungwa, right? Those Aro, Ngwa, and
Yeah.
Aron are settlements of Aros in Ngwa. Now, if Ngwa people were bad, so to speak,
Okay.
they wouldn't have welcomed those Arab people who have made those places their homes right now. Okay, and it's just vice versa.
Mm,
Now, like I
mm,
did say, this animosity or perceived animosity, which I think is fake, came from, it has a historical perspective to it, right? And I did tell you that Ahafia warriors
mm,
at some
mm,
point were protecting, trade routes around the Ngwa area, and that created a lot of, you know,
mm,
um, I would say it fostered some mutual dependence and respect. But at the same time, there's no way you do business with someone that there won't be conflict. So if those conflicts that happened at that time has been sustained over the years. I'm talking about pre-colonial period, post-colonial, and till this moment. And you know what? The people who have fostered this animosity or perceived animosity, which I see say or claim is fake, are politicians, right? We've seen politicians in the modern times
mm,
use those statements just to galvanize their bases, and it's bad. And that is why this concept or misconception has fostered till date. So, as someone who is quite
mm,
exposed and who understands exactly what's going on, I will tell Abians, right, to try as much as they can to go to those areas and experience those areas. Now, when you say Abia North, this is an
mm.
entire political zone. I'm talking about Umunochi, Isukwato, Uzuakoli, Iten, Ibere, Alai, all right, Bende, Abam, Arochukwu, Abreba, Ohafia, Okporo. How can someone in the name of cruise or whatever, or in the name of I don't want to marry, lump such huge group of people into one point? That's insane. And her doubling down and saying, no, I'm not going to apologize. You guys and your feelings. I said what I said. Listen to me, it's not about choice. If it's your choice, keep it to yourself. Nobody cares. I don't care who you want to marry. Nobody really cares because at the end of the day, you're going to live with that person and then it's going to be your personal experience. If you don't want to marry from other North, okay, fine and good. But don't come online and then make a blanket statement that they don't like us. Our mona they go to Suna Lolo Nyangwa. How can you say such a thing? You're pretty much speaking for all Ngwa people. And trust me, I've had interactions with my cousins since this thing started online, and they're like, oh, we don't share those sentiments. All right. So the problem is this: it's not every youth out there that will have the mental, responsibility, or what I say, the capacity to go and research for themselves. They run off of what they see on social media, especially when it's coming from an influencer of those. All right. So what I'm going to advise them is this: do not pay attention to such fallacies. Let your personal experiences be what will dictate your mindset with regards to what Nora say. Nora is not an authority when it comes to Ungwa and Abia North relations or relationships. She's not authority there. She's just a person basically expressing her personal feelings. I get that she has the right to do that. But when such personal feelings are expressed in a way that it hurts the unity of the state, then it must be condemned.
All right. Thank you very much, Kino, for the little insight we've gotten from you. And we want to open up our phone lines because we've waited for Da Abia to come in and also the brother to Nora Obani to come. We've waited for Dr. Obani. We've not seen him. Okay, our phone lines are open for you to join on this conversation. You can call on 0810 905 5550. 0810
Um, so
Please
Fadzi, there's also there's
continue.
also a spiritual perspective to this thing, right? From a spiritual
All
standpoint,
right.
in as much as that we understand that what she said is divisive, okay? It is also chemically
Hmm.
dangerous. Do you understand what I'm saying? The creator does not judge us by
Yeah, I
clan
do.
or tribe, all right, or by skin color or by whatever. It is based on the condition of our hearts, all right? when someone sows discord between kindred people, they work against the principle of peace and favor, which is, Udo,
Mm.
Ihonanya, and Ihoma, which our ancestors cherish so much. So even the scripture, warns against bearing false witness, because basically what Nora did was bear false witness and sow seeds of discord among brethren. That is spiritually very wrong. I don't know how spiritual she is. I can't say because I really don't know her personally, but it's absolutely spiritually immature to sow such seeds of discord by making such careless statements. All right, so spiritually, politically, culturally, he was absolutely wrong.
Okay. All right. Let's bring in. I think someone is here. Grace. Grace. Okay, join us. Hello. Okay, Grace. I think you have been listening on this program, Higher Area, about Nora that her statement went viral about the Ngwas and the Abia North. So, what's your take on that, on her statement?
Okay, just like Nora later came out to say, is her perception about how she feels about uh, based on her experience, though. I would also like to say that while growing up, we had a lot of instances insinuated, just like my brother over there said that it's a discrepancy from our political leaders that resulted to such. But aside political leaders, we've had these discrepancies among ourselves, not just Abia. Every other state has that in the sense that once you're not coming from my part of the world, I assume that your part of the world is not suitable for me. Every human being has that information, it might not be really invested on, but in the sense that there's this discrepancy about people's places, not being able to, you know, get to know people before judging them. We do that more in Africa in the sense that we intend to not really know people before passing judgments until we're not able to come close, get to learn their culture, their differences, and then if it suits us, we accept and we settle. So initially, from beginning, it starts with notion. Like I believe you hear people in the northern side say, Inyamiri this, Inyamiri that, and we here in the eastern part we say, those house awards, they are this, they are that. It's something that is the normal terrain in Africa when we get to talk about other people's culture, and we feel like ours is the best. So we project ours until we have not been able to cohabit with these people and then get to know them. Then the perception will then change. So I think that is the point where Nora is coming from. We've heard, even while growing up, we've heard things like Ngwa people are not good. Like for me, for instance, I grew up in the north where basically we were like family, be it that you're from Yoruba, you're from other tribes. We are, as long as we're living in one compound, we relate together, we do things together, and then we cohabit. You understand? But when I came back to East, I was hearing Ungwa people this, Ungwa people that. But I got to find out that I actually grow in the midst of Ungwa people, but I didn't, because I was in the north, so I didn't get that notion. So, but I actually grew in the midst of in Ungwa people because they were the Igbos around me, the Ungwa people. And the way we related, we were like family. My mom, during the Christmas period, you hear things like, you go to your uncle's house. We are not related by blood, just that a state connected us. But we were really like family because we came from one state. So we saw each other as one. You understand? So it was when I came back to Abia, I started hearing Ngwa people this, Ngwa people that. I was like, how? I grew up with these people. They were loving. In fact, when I actually lost my mom, that I came back to East, after staying with my aunt for some while, I couldn't stay back. I had to go back to the north. It was an Ngwa family I was actually staying with. And they accommodated me for years until I was able to leave their house and became independent on my own. So the same thing with Ohafia people as well. At least I can attest to the fact that I've worked on a Ohafia man. So it's just that it's a notion. It might be based on the fact that maybe she has dated an Abia North man and it didn't end well. Or maybe I think it's a personal thing. It's personal difference. Maybe the family didn't want her and then she assumed. Although we've been hearing this conversation, it's not today. This starts from Nora. It's been in existence. You even coming down to where I'm coming from, you can hear somebody say, I'm not marrying women from Iguano because they are too exposed, they are too stubborn. We hear that a lot. Even as someone that was once married to an Iberi man, being in Iberi at that time, I could hear Iberi people tell me that Umaya women are too wild, they are too exposed, they are too this. It's something that we do on a daily. So it's not just Nora's thing. It's been there. If you are telling ourselves the truth, it's been there for ages. But are we overlooking these certain things? Are we breaking these barriers? Yes, we are. Almost people are getting married to other tribes, other communities in Abia, and even other states. I've seen a Hausa person that is married to a Hausa person. I've seen an Ngwa person married to other states and other tribes. So I just think it's individual indifference that's the issue here. So, but I'm quite against the fact that she had to generalize it. She would have just said it's my perception based on my experience, not just placing an embargo on all the Abia Northern.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grace, for your contribution. Okay, let's come back to Mrs. Atulama. Mrs. Atulama, you are back, right? Are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we would like to get your own contribution on this topic. You are married to an Ungwa man and you are from Ahoho. So tell us more about your relationship with your husband
Umwahe.
and the family of your husband. Also,
Um, act-
the family of your husband and your own family. So let's get the relationship, how it has been working.
okay. Um, my relationship with my husband is very, very. How do I put it? It's so awesome. He's loving. My husband is this kind of a man that he likes to be on his own. He's a quiet kind of person, but full of surprises and all the rest of them. He's an intelligent man, and
Let's ring the bell.
I I'm married into one of the most popular families in Mvosi, but most people don't really know that the Onyoguzuru's family. That's the family where I married into. Um, I can't just say this is my 3 years there, and the relationship I share with I can't. There's no week we don't talk. Myself, my sisters-in-law, and my father-in-law. So even my husband with his extended family, they always say, "How is our wife?" Oh, I'll still give them mama no. They say no. From 12 months, I say maharawa months. So we be more. So the relationship with our family and that of the Ngwa is something that I can't just say it out here. I have my brothers who married from Ngwa,
Mm.
from Osisioma, from Obingwa. I have Isalangwa North in my compound. I have even I have Igunabo also. I even have Azumiri in my family. So I have all the local governments in Ungwa in my family. And the way they changed my narrative from my past experience from during school, very hospitable people, wise of those my cousins. and trying during traditional marriages. There's this particular the Ngwa extraction. They've succeeded in the they succeeded in making my family to lullabies and all the rest of them. And it's so interesting how you see them integrate, and it's as if they've been married for years. There's this one that is always that will always tell me you must marry an Ngwa. I said, God forbid me, marry Ngwa. Say wetin happen. Say na village dey inside bush. She will always yab me. And at the end of the whole day, she was the most happiest woman the day I got married. When I told them I'm married, she was like, where from? I hope if it's not Ngwa, I'm not coming. I said it's Ngwa. She said, wow, that what she said has finally manifested. So far, there are
Okay.
good there are good eggs, there are bad eggs. Even in families, there are people
Oh,
you may not really
okay.
like or like. There are people you will
Atulama,
still hate.
sorry, Atulama, sorry for cutting you. I think we have a caller right now. We have a caller. Let's speak from the caller. Hello, hello,
Hello?
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please. We would like to know your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay, my name is Charles Eze,
Okay.
and I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, Charles, you understand what we are in this program. We are talking about a trending video during the weekend. A lady, a based UK lady from Ngwa, that made a comment that she will not marry from Abia North. Though what we are here is not to discriminate, what we are trying to say is about the comment and also bring back the love of Ndengwa and then Abia North. So, what's your contribution that?
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you, and I also want to extend my appreciation to El Papi,
Okay.
because he happens to be my boss, even though he might not know who is speaking, but let me just draw his attention to APSU, from Unical to APSU and the cashew thing and all that. But that's by the way. Oh, okay, let me just go straight into the conversation.
All right.
I think, just like the lady, I don't know her name, but she was talking
Okay. See,
here
see,
earlier.
see our questions now. Just see if you
All
can
right.
answer any of them. Should one person's marriage choice lead to online war between regions? Do you think intermarriage can heal division between Abia North and Ngwa? What practical steps should we take to encourage peace and love in our communities? So that's the questions we have for you.
Okay, no, the thing is very simple. I want to first of all go into the conversation first. It's very simple. This thing is just an issue of is a personal issue, because even the young lady who is the subject of this conversation, he posted on her Facebook page earlier today, and I commented on that thing. I told her that, look, this thing it has to be a personal something. This thing, it cannot be you can't generalize a particular region to a clan, because I know that even in my village, a lot of people married from Ngwa and they are living in peace.
You are from where?
I'm from Mpa.
Okay. Abia North. Continue, please. Continue.
Even come sick, don't want to marry from Abia North, because the people, they hate you. Even if you marry somebody from Abia North, that some of his relatives will not like you. I mean, for me, it's laughable, because I know those days when we are younger, we used to hear these stories like, if you go to Ngwa land, some people, they eat human flesh and all these things. But the Igbos have evolved, okay? And for me, I have a lot of friends from Ngwa land. It's like so many. And I travel to so many parts of Ngwa land, to interior villages and all these things. So we've come to the realization that these things are archaic. Most of these narratives are archaic. Okay, so I don't know who started these narratives, but those things are archaic. It's just like when you say an NBC man and snake. You know what I'm talking about here. So she has to, just like the lady was saying, it's a personal something. You don't come to the public space to come and vet your personal experience or your personal grievances. And I'm meant to understand that the lady, has a growing brand. And you're just coming to condemn people from Abia North. Me, I'm from Abia North. And I love most of my friends who are from Ngwa land. It's just like the former commissioner for finance, Obin Noriak. He used to be my senior in secondary school. I have a lot of them. Even Junior Rondo. Junior Rondo is my boss in Abia State University those days. And we still interact. A lot of them, just to mention a few. So you don't just come. Junior Rondo married from Isukwato, and I was present in his traditional marriage. So okay, how about Junior, who is who has a wife from Abia North? Okay, how about people who married from Ngwa? That is men from Abia North who married from Ngwa. So are you trying to tell me that this lady is going to disparage them? It's uncalled for. So these things are not good because social media is a very sensitive space. So when we try to create this division in Abia State that we are just trying to, coexist, and you create this division, I don't think is the right way to go. And going by, this personality, Nora Obane, who is the, who happens to be the center of this conversation here. I think I went through her page and discovered that she's building a brand. And you're just coming here to say people from Abia North, they hate Ngwa. Earlier this morning, she made a comment that Ngwa people are very peaceful. Yes, very, very peaceful. And that is only in Ngwa land that you can build a house, coexist with Ngwa people without any issues or bias or whatever. Now, in that post, I made a comment and said, it's not only Ngwa people that sells land. If you come to Umaya people sell land. Dino Rondo has a house in Umaya, for example. Okay? And he was one of the aide of him as a former governor. He is living in Umaya. He has a land there. He built a house there, both him and his aide, And a lot of Ngwa people are living, okay, Obi Noriaku, who used to be my elder or my senior in secondary school, lives in Enugu. And these are Igbo land. So are you trying to tell me that it's only Ngwa people that accommodate visitors? My place, if you come to my place, even though my place is somehow, not in town and all that, but we have a lot of visitors who live in my village. And we are coexisting peacefully, in harmony. So my contribution is that we should not spread this hate speech. It's not good. If you have a personal experience, keep it to yourself. Don't bring it to the social media or to the social space. Okay, because children of these days are very sensitive. They will listen to these things and they will take this conversation home, and before you know it will extend to the level that people will start questioning why do we have this kind of hate and divide. So for me, I think that's the hate speech, and we should not encourage that. Thank you very much.
Your name again, please, before you leave.
Okay, my name is Charles Eze, and I'm calling from Port Harcourt. Please tell my regards to LL Papi. Okay. He's my boss.
All right.
He might not know me, but later now I'll chat him on his. I will DM him. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
right.
Charles, for your wonderful contribution on this. Though all these things are your opinion. Thank you for joining ABN TV on this program. Thank you very much. All right, let's go back to Ekino. Before we come back to Ekino or our sister Atiloma, let me read some of the comments we have on our social media handle. We have from Kenneth Cole. Kenneth Cole sorry for that little. Where we are is in Nigeria, so anything can happen. So we let me read from Kenneth Cole. He said every region, village have their own share of discrimination. Even inside Ngwa, there still some discrimination. So one damage. Oh, no, 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 no. We can't take that, please. We can't take it. Thank you very much. Okay. MC Lozi said you people should behave well. I don't know the people you are talking about. All right. Atiloma, are you there? Atiloma, are you there? All right, let's continue where we stop. I think most of them are not. Their network are bad. So,
All right. So
Are you there?
one thing again you need to. Yeah, I'm very much here. I think I love what Charles Azer did say. Trying to disabuse the narrative that Ngwa people hate Abia people and vice versa. And then it's given. Bias is real, right? Whether conscious or unconscious. Because at the end of the day, it affects the way we think, the way we feel, the way we behave towards others. In psychology, people talk about explicit and implicit bias. And trust me, what Nora said is a typical example of explicit bias. It's based on attitudes and beliefs. We consciously endorse, right? And call it a personal feeling. That was our bias speaking right there. And listen to me. In reality, it creates a problem because when you leave bias unsolved, all right, it widens the gap. That's wrong belief continues to increase, and people will begin to act it out. So that's why it's always very key to nip bias in the boss when you see it. And I don't blame her, all right? That's the perception, that's the way she grew up. We had limited knowledge, so to speak. The only way to kill bias is by educating yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, one
I do.
personal experience, but it's just like when somebody says, "Oh, I'm not going to marry again because I suffered a heartbreak." How? That once someone broke your heart does not mean that the next person is going to break your heart. That you were able to find love with someone does not mean you're not going to be able to find love with another person. It's just
Mm,
that it's there. I have this thing about, oh, the north, the north, the north. I intentionally wanted to serve enough, and I thank God I served in enough because He provided me the opportunity to see Northerners, Hausas, and Fulanis for what it is. Today in Nigeria, we talk about Fulani headsmen and all that, but not all Fulani are bad. Not all Fulani. Yeah, authorities. In Igbo land today, Igbo people are kidnapping their own brothers, but it does not mean that everybody in Igbo land is bad. Just here in the States, you have this thing about white and blacks, okay? And I am black.
mm,
Then people tell you, oh, racism. I've never experienced racism for almost 10 years I've been here. I've not experienced any form of racism. And I do not go around believing that every white man I come across is going to be racist. No. Funny enough, you see black Americans treat you like you're different despite the fact that you have the same skin color with them. So it's about bias and it's ingrained in us, right? And it's based on the narrative that we've heard from people around us over the years. But the truth is that first and foremost, we are all human beings and must treat each other with respect and a sense of humanity. That's what we are. At the end of the day, when you cut my skin open, I'm not going to bleed green, I'm going to bleed red. And that's the same thing with anybody, no matter where you are or where you find yourself, no matter which tribe or clan you belong to, when they cut your skin open, it's red blood that will gush out. When they open your cadaver, it's one heart. We breathe the same oxygen. So this idea of, oh, I don't like these people, and then you want to stereotype a people basically, based on your personal experience, is harebrained and needs to be condemned.
All right, so just a breaking news that's just coming up right now. President Tinubu lifts emergency rule in River State. This is just coming up right now in River State. Thank you for that
Great, great,
update.
great, great news. Yeah. Mhm.
All right. The program we are here, what we are doing here is on how your area. So we just got this message. All right, let me read another one from Ebe Bere Uche, he said, "Sir, the truth, many bende won't tell you, or don't understand the language. This, okay, they feel superior. We don't use. We are talking about peace. We are talking about love. And you to write all these long statements. I don't. I've checked what you've written here. I don't think it's good, my brother.
That's bias. That's
See,
pure bias right there speaking. He
yes,
doesn't even
yes.
know better. If he knows
See,
better, if he has had
see.
personal experiences, with
Mm,
people, he will know that those things are
mm,
biases. There's nothing like nobody is superior. How would you gauge superiority, right? It's
mm.
bias. Whoever is exuding that doesn't know better. Do you understand what I'm saying? We are all equal in the eyes of God. I am a living example of the the relationship between Ngwa and I don't know. My dad was an Happy man before he passed, married an Ngwa woman, right? And today we're here, five of us, great kids from that marriage, from that union of love. And I embodied both sides of the aisle. And I'm telling you that this is pure bias. And you know the dangers of this thing. If we do not tackle it just like you're doing, and I appreciate you, Fakti, for creating time. Just like Charlie Kirk said before he died, if we stop talking, then hate thrives. If we stop talking, this kind of narratives from Nora thrives. If we stop talking, the division continues. It's only when we talk about it that people will gain insight and know better. For instance, if we stop talking, there are politicians who thrive on selling or pushing this false narrative and stereotypes. Because at the end of the day, you've seen it happen. Somebody will support policies that intentionally exclude certain communities because they feel like, oh, they don't like us. Do you understand what I'm saying? That these
Yeah.
are the dangers inherent in this kind of bias, and we need to nip it in the bud, like I say. Do you understand what I'm saying? People, the only way to address it is through this conversation that we're having, conversations, education, and accountability. And I am challenging Nora in this podcast today. Nara, you need to take accountability of what you say and understand the dangers inherent in your bias. I'm not saying it's wrong to have a bias. We are human beings. We all have biases. But the thing again is when it is pointed out, take corrective actions immediately. Don't double down and say, oh, I'm not going to apologize and all that, because that is what triggered this. If Nora had come back to say, hey, listen, now my personal experience, so I was only catching cruise, so I'm sorry, it's my personal experience. It's not my personal feelings. It has nothing to do with all people in Abia North. This would have died down. I may not have even responded to it, but I responded when she doubled down and said, "Oh, you guys and your feelings. It is what it is. Will you tell me that your mom never told you not to marry an older woman? Hello." If your mom said that, probably your mom who didn't have any education. You have education, you should know better.
Okay. Let's also have these questions I've mentioned before. Should one person's marriage choice lead to online war between religions or
Well, it
regions?
is not, it shouldn't, but it is basically what was said. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was a statement that targeted a group of people. It was hurtful. It was harmful, right? Like I said, your choice of marriage is your choice. You're entitled to that choice. But you do not have the right to label or paint a group of people with a stroke of brush that makes them look bad when it's not the reality. Now let's talk about other people who are not from other states, maybe in Enugu or in Anambra or in Gala or somebody from Eritrea, and goes to her and says, "What is this thing going on? What is this backlash about?" And she goes on to spew this narrative to the person. If the person doesn't know any better to possibly research and find out for themselves, the person will run with that narrative. And that's how it continues to spread. So it is very, very bad. So she needs to take accountability. Like I said, it's fair discussion, education. When you educate yourself, you go read up stuff about people. Education is not just about reading, travel too, right? Listen to me. Abia not has great culture. We have great culture from Ishikwata to Uzuakoli to Isochi. Great culture. If you go to Ngwa, great culture. One thing I don't miss in Ngwa is anytime I come back, January is their Ekpe festival, their masquerade festival. I don't miss it. I love it. I enjoy the sound. I enjoy the the sights and all that. People should travel. And then I also think there's something that used to happen in the state back in the days, a cultural festival of sorts where all parts of the state converge in Umahia at the stadium with their cultural activities and all that. I've not seen that happen anymore. All right. And the Western world are celebrating their cultures every given time, bringing people together. We as Abians, whether you are a political office holder, or a business, a private person, we should be very, very intentional towards celebrating our culture. It should be an annual event. Those kind of cultures or activities will enable dispel this narrative that are false. By the time we all meet together in one place, enjoy each other's cultural contributions and traditions, then we can begin to see ourselves as one. So government has a role to play. Reorientation of our people. We need to dispel these false narratives and stereotypes because we want to build a state that is great. Finally, we have a governor who seems to be working, but who also needs to be together to get it happen. For instance, Alex Yoti is also an embodiment of both sides. He has his genealogy could be traced to Arachukwu, right? But he is an Ungwa man. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we can have these examples there and still continue to wallow in irresponsible narratives. It doesn't make sense.
All right, thank you, Ekino, for that. I think Atuloma is back again. Let's bring her on. I don't know, Atuloma, are you there? Are you there, Atuloma? Onyekachi, are you there? Are you there? Can you hear us? We needed their contribution. Can you hear us? Hello, Onyekachi, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Hello. All right, Ekino, as I think she's having a little bit network problem. All right, on the other
Network
hand,
issues there. Is it? Yeah. Mhm.
all right, let me bring in Grace and see. Grace, are you there? Grace, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and we have some other questions for you. Do you think
Okay.
intermarriage can heal divisions between Abia North and the Ngwa?
Yeah, sure, it would. As when two families come together, they have to protect an interest, definitely. So it would, and it will encourage other communities to also open up to accepting other, brides from different communities merging together to become husband and wife. It will go a long way to eradicate discrimination among communities, especially in Abia State, or let me say in the Igbo race, because it seems like we beat more of ourselves in the Igbo race. Everybody wants to claim to be the perfect tribe from Igbo race, and that is not speaking well about us. But by the time we start embracing each other, intermarriage will definitely help to curtail some of these excesses. Yeah, it would.
Another question is what practical steps should we take to encourage peace and love in our different communities?
I think that like what El Papi is already doing is part of the sensitization, talking about issues like this, raising up these concerns and addressing them. And it will go a long way to eradicate this discrimination among ourselves and for us to realize that at the end of the day, we are one people, not minding where you're coming, your village, or where you're coming from. What tells good about you is the fact that you are your brother's keeper anywhere you are. And there is this thing also that happens with the Igbo race in the sense that it's only when we are out of Nigeria that we embrace each other, that we, love each other and look out for each other. But when we are back home, the discrimination is always obvious. But with this uh, awareness, talking about it, and also, if possible, if we can come up with something like having I don't know what to call it. Is it intercultural day where we display different cultures, come together, show who we are, our culture, our food, talk about ourselves, what makes us unique, and all of that. That will also help to eradicate discrimination among ourselves as well. So basically, it's talking about it, and it will go a long way to send out the message home. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chris D. Let's bring Atulama back again. I don't know why her network is too bad. Are you there? Mrs. Soyekachi, are you there? Are you there, Mrs. Soyekachi? Can you hear us? Are you there? Mrs. Soyekachi, can you talk? I don't know because this program would even love to hear from you because you are married to an Ngwa man, whereby you are from Oma here. So I would also like to hear from you. And this, most of these comments and what we get from you will help us to shape most of the narrative that people are getting because you have an experience. You are living with an Ngwa man while you are from Oma here. So most of these things will help our listeners also, our viewers, to know how most things they can easily say on social media. So can you hear us now? I don't think she can hear us. I don't think she can hear us. I don't think she can hear us. We've tried to link up to Dr. Chidema Ubani. We've waited a long time for, I know most times you see these doctors, they might be in the theater, wait for him to come and also contribute on this um, topic where his sister said something on social media that had been trending. Well, we don't have to take much of our time. If you check now, it's time check is 32 minutes past the hour of 5. I know United States. What's the time there?
It's
What's the time?
12:32 p.m. now. It's 12:32, and I
Wow.
have to
All
run
right.
too. Yeah.
I know. We'll soon let you go, but I think our phone lines are still open for them to contribute. You can join us by dialing 08109055550 08109055550. Okay, before we conclude, I want each of you to share just one statement, just one statement or one sentence, your personal message of peace and love to Abia North and Ngwa people watching right now. Let me repeat it again. I want each of you, okay, Grace is here, to share just one sentence, your personal message of peace and love to Abia North and Ngwa people watching us right now. Autonoma is back. So let's start from Grace B.
Okay, I will just say to the Ngwa people and Abia North, we are all one family. We are brothers and sisters, irrespective of the fact that we bear different names. We are one. I won't be Igbo, I will Ofu. So let's love each other, embrace each other, and live in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Absalom, can you speak right now? Can, can you speak? Onyekachi, can you speak? We can't hear you. Onyekachi, can you speak? Onyekachi, can you hear us? Can you speak right now?
Hello.
Can you speak now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Before we let you go, I think we need, yes, we need
I can hear
to hear
you
from
loud
you
and
because
clear.
we need to know most of your experience you've gotten since you married your husband from Ngwa. Can you hear me, Onyekachi? Onyekachi, can you hear me? I think she had a very serious network issue. her contribution is needed on this program because I think we'll use it to make some other things. All right, let's hear from Ekino, please.
All right. Like I said, my last take is understanding bias. Right. There's explicit and implicit bias. People should educate themselves on that because I think education, like Grace said, awareness is one way to go, and possibly, encouraging um, unity via the celebration of our diverse cultures. Now, I also want to say this. Right. Words carry power, and words that promote division should be resisted with truth, wisdom, and love. The path forward for Ngwa is one of dialogue, mutual respect, and remembrance of the deep bonds that predate modern politics. And I'm today here, despite my strong opinions in regards to what um, and the US, from the US to the UK, right? I'll come on Ngwa, despite the fact that I am an Oaxaca person, right? I'm on Ngwa. So, that statement wasn't truly thought about. If you critically thought about it, I don't think you would have made it. If it was based on a personal experience, well, that's what it is. We all have had experiences with people from diverse places that weren't so pleasant, but that shouldn't make us paint the entire people with the same stroke of brush. That is not good. That is a true example of explicit bias, and that could create problems if not dealt with. Peace and love.
All right, before you go, please, I forgot to ask you this. Ekino, before we go in, before we say bye for now, what's the one thing you miss most about home whenever you are in the US? Food, music, or special
Um,
community vibe?
food, food. I mean, like that's easy. We get food here, right? Right now, I have like three different sets. Seafood okra, black food, black
Onye
soup,
ngwongwo,
and
onye ngwongwo.
black soup and
Eri
banga soup. So,
ngwongwo.
that. So, food is not the issue, right? It's just that that's safe space. That's something. Home is home. There is nothing sweeter than home, right? There's a difference when you are in another man's clime. Contributing to building the economy of that place. For me, it's a little jarring. In as much as I'm enjoying my experience here, but that nothing beats being home and making your own contributions to the growth of your home. Nothing beats that, and that's one thing I miss.
Okay, what about music?
Well, I can access music on my phone. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm,
Okay.
I'm, I think I'm up to date much more than some DJs back home because you know what it is. We've been in this for the longest, right? I still have
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
contacts.
yeah.
Yeah, my playlist is great, so I don't miss the music. We see these
Okay.
guys here. They come here during the summers. We attend concerts. We see them all the time, right? So it's not the music. It's just the ability to be home, be in your own space, place you call home, where you're free. There's a certain degree of freedom that you get when you are in your home, right? Yeah, one could say that, hey, yeah, I'm an American, right? But yet at the same time, I am first a Nigerian before being an American. So home.
What about that special Abia community vibe? I want to get one from you.
One day, always
Uh,
someone call, always someone call. What do you
I'm
say?
gonna
Suppose now.
confirm.
Someone call. If you want to chop, leave as much as there. The food here is important, right? You can get it here, but only here carry issue agwara n'ogbe. Ghọtala? Ege
I'm
bana
gonna.
ịdaba na nkọrọda tata moto isi ewu agwara agwọ ihe dị iche dịkwa ihe dị iche dị.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ekino, Anya, and Onyekachi. Grace D. I really want to thank you people for making out your time to join the program today.
Yeah.
And honestly, this I think has touched many what thousands of people have watched this program today. Uh, Abia, remember this. We one family, uh, disagreements will happen. Yes, we know, but let's never allow them to turn to division. Oh, words have power. Equal woman power. Let's use them to heal, not to hurt. All right.
Absolutely. Also, the one minute. Also, thank you so
Join.
much.
Thank you very much. Join us next week on How Your Area for another powerful conversation. I am Ifani Okale. Bye. And thank you. Bye bye.
Shakira talking drum horns to the groovy bass line. I'll beat to make people vibe along. Like your area, way okay. How your street they go, like your street they go. Way okay. We go talk down for ABA. Waiting to happen for your side. Waiting to happen for your side. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. All be in the air and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring, love they everywhere. Culture way sweet, we go just down here. Waiting to happen for your side. Waiting to happen for your side. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. All be in the air and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring, love they everywhere. Culture was sweet, we go just down here. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. All be in the air and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring, love they everywhere. Culture was sweet, we go just down here. Waiting to happen for your side. Waiting to happen for your side. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. All be in the air and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring, love they everywhere. Culture was sweet, we go just down here. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. All be in the air and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring, love they everywhere. Culture was sweet, we go just down here. Marriage for village, party for town. Right price they high, but them no calm down. Dancing enjoyment, so one day they full ground. And this kind just we go spread around. Find out, hey, okay, how your area, how your street they go. We go talk out for head, everybody this week. We go show love, how your area, hey, okay. Waiting to happen for your side. Waiting to happen for your side. How the wedding bell sounds, cheering crowd. How your street they go. We they marry this week. We go show love. How your area. Yeah, yeah. Waiting to happen for your side. Waiting to happen for your side. Waiting to happen for your side. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. I'll be in the air and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring, love they everywhere. Culture way sweet, we go just stand here. Make a corporate we don't trip. Fuck we talk like we team song. Make a corporate we don't trip. Waiting they happen for your side. I'm your area, fuck it with them. We are there okay, we are there okay. Lion Street they go back up singles. We gon' talk about for heavy and television. Waiting they happen for your side. 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 Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. I'll be in the air and we gon' talk and right. When in now they ring love, they everywhere. Culture way sweet, we gon' just stand here. Like a go quick, we don't trip. Fuck we talk up, we think so. Like a go quick, we don't trip. Waiting they happen for your side. Traffic jam for morning, wahala for night. I'll be in the air and we go talk and right. Wedding bell they ring, love they everywhere. Culture way sweet,
we go gist am here. It's for village party for town. Price they high, but they no calm down. Dancing, enjoy the go where they full ground. And this kind gist we go spread around. I know area for the bredo. I am okay, we are there okay. Lion Street they go back up sing. We go talk up for happy and television. Who they marry this week? Fight us, we go show love at your area. Oh, area for the okay. Oh, waiting they happen for your side. 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 Are your area.